Subway bills itself as the healthy food choice, but their latest announcement, a bit of a surprise for a lot of us. Subway says it's going to stop using a certain chemical in their bread, one that is also used in making some industrial products.
Yeah, what? There's a headline. Did we get your
industrial
attention?
Products.
Did you just lift your head from the couch and say, what? I'm sorry, that's right. It's a chemical that is actually used for bleaching and oxidizing, but it's mostly used to add elasticity to things like your rubber shoes and yoga mats. We are not making this up, and actually it's going to shock you. It's not just in Subway breads. We're now learning that this is a chemical also found in a lot of foods, not just Subway breads. It's in loaves of bread found in grocery stores, bread served in restaurants, even in some cereals. Now, it is a chemical that's banned in Europe and Australia, but Mike, we're talking about something that's legal here in the States. The FDA actually approved it here, so they say it is safe enough to consume in levels that are approved by the FDA.
Okay.
We're not talking about gobs and gobs of this chemical.
And you make the point that I think it's Panera, McDonald's, some grocery store brands have that in there as well. So you don't want to just single out Subway, but that's who's in the line of fire here, thanks to some food blogger, and we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But now, is this chemical, it's banned elsewhere, right, in other countries?
Yeah, so that's the question. Is there really a danger to this being in foods here in the United States? If the FDA allows it, we assume that it is, and the FDA says that they don't think so. They don't think that there's enough. The Center for Science and Public Interest studied the additive. They found that in mice, it can act as a carcinogen, but in humans, the increased health risks are, quote, negligible. That said, the group is advocating for reducing the amount of this chemical that is allowed in foods, which I think is a relief there, because if it's not absolutely needed to keep us alive,
right.
you got to figure out a way to keep it out. If they do that in Europe, you'd imagine that they'd be able to do that here.
Okay, so then if there's little risk, why are you getting rid of it? I mean, I think everybody's happy you're getting rid of it, but I still think that that's where people go, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Should I be concerned?
Yeah.
If you feel the need to get rid of it, why is it in there in the first place? Well, Subway's official statement is part of their quote-unquote bread improvement efforts. Thank you, PR company that thought of that. But many people are just not buying it. There was actually this week a popular food activist and blogger that started this petition to get rid of the chemical in Subway's bread. Here's just one quick look at her video that she posted.
This controversial and dangerous ingredient is called azodicarbonamide. It's the same stuff they use to make yoga mats in the bottom of your shoes. It's toxic and it's flammable. Does that sound like eating fresh? Please join me in asking Subway to remove this dangerous chemical from their bread. We deserve the same safer ingredients Subway sells to other citizens across the globe. Please sign the petition at foodbabe.com/Subway. Let's eat fresh, not yoga mat.
So that's what a lot of people have been saying sparked the controversy, because as of this afternoon, we're talking nearly 68,000 people that have signed that petition. And even though Subway says it was already planning to get rid of this chemical, some people are a little suspicious. They're putting one and one in together and making two because of that announcement. So Subway really being singled out, which seems a little unfair, Mike, because there are other companies that have the exact same chemical in their bread, and the FDA has approved it.
Okay, so when is this chemical, and I'm not even going to take a shot at trying to say it, when's it going to be out of the bread?
I did the exact same thing. I said, can we call it chemical? Can we call it additive? Thank you for the blogger for saying it for us. There's no hard date. The fast food giant just said that, quote, we are already in the process of removing the chemical as part of our bread improvement efforts. The complete conversion to have this product out of the bread will be done soon. Okay.
We've mentioned other restaurants. Anybody else commenting who has the chemical in their bread?
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of them. We're talking about McDonald's, Starbucks, and Arby's. They all use this to make their breads last longer. We have heard from McDonald's. They have addressed the concerns, but as of right now, they still use that chemical, and we haven't heard from anyone else on that particular chemical and whether or not they're going to be removing it. But we should reiterate, I mean, this is something that's FDA approved, and they say that the actual health effect is negligible. That's a word that the FDA has used.
Got it. And we'll be out soon.
Yes.
So we have that for you.